Tonight, what looks like a routine filming at a police station explodes into a tense showdown. Legal threats, an expected search, and a dramatic shift when uniformed officers arrive. Stick with me. Every second matters.
I like your bike, by the way. It's very nice.
You okay?
Yeah, what model is that one? I'm looking to upgrade.
Maybe one guy.
Yeah, no, I'm looking to upgrade. I'm on a 125 at the moment.
Yeah, see you later on.
And by the way, you just blocked somebody coming in. Just be careful of where you park your bike. He was literally trying to come in. All right. But yeah, so next time I'd recommend.
Because I want to make sure.
Yeah, I understand that. But obviously you can pull over safely to the side and do so.
What's your name?
Pardon?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Liz.
Liz.
So I'm this police officer that's in charge
Oh,
of this
Chief Superintendent.
location.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come
Otherwise
on,
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Come on, Superintendent. You don't just go around demanding ID from the members of the public.
I certainly do if they're a counter-terrorism risk.
Counter-terrorism risk? What makes it a counter-terrorism risk?
Filming our officers.
As I explained to the person on the bike, I don't even know who that is.
Okay,
But I'm just waiting for some marked vehicles to come in and out.
So, would you mind me asking, just asking, what are you doing here?
As I've just explained twice now, once to the person on the bike and one on the to this lady.
Mate, listen. You can't really be outside police stations.
Okay, before you go ahead with the search, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you look up a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council regarding people filming in public places, regarding social media vloggers and police stations. I would highly recommend it before you land yourself a lawsuit.
Listen,
and that's you do what you
feel comfortable with that.
you do what you got to do. You do what you got. I will.
At 3:45, the scene flips. A superintendent strides out with authority, and the auditor, calm, phone raised, meets that authority head-on. Right away we see the clash of roles. Senior officer demanding ID, auditor politely refusing and invoking public rights. This opening confrontation is electric. The officer's tone is directive, the auditor's tone is measured but firm. You can feel the situation pivot from casual filming to an official dispute, the first crack in the story's calm.
I'm not saying now I do not consent to any searches. I know lawfully I don't have to, but I want to make that clear.
Regardless of your ability to film things in a public setting.
Right.
Obviously you raise our awareness and our suspicion, particularly in an environment of severe CT risk.
And who are you, sorry?
I'm Inspector Tarek McKinsey.
Inspector
Tarek McKinsey.
McKinsey, that's a cool name, I like that. And have you got a warrant number there?
Yeah, I do. 243501.
243501, thank you. And do you have a warrant number? Sorry?
Mate, listen.
Sorry,
Instead of being obstructive.
No, I'm not being obstructive. I'm trying to get relevant
Can you
information.
just listen to me for a second, all right?
No, I don't have to listen to you, do I?
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
So you've given me a warrant number. Do you have a warrant number, Superintendent, please?
We're not going to engage with any further.
Listen.
Well, you are, because you're saying that you're going to search me, so you would have to give your information at that point anyway, wouldn't you?
Can you grab one of the uniform lot?
And you're Charlie Wynn, so you're a constable, thank you. But, am I being detained at this moment? Am I currently detained?
Yeah, uniforms.
No.
Who are equipped and everything to do with you.
Okay, so I'm not detained.
Not at this precise moment.
Okay, not at this precise moment. Well, again, as I said, you've got smartphones. I would highly recommend you look up this memo. Okay, this memo is a key piece of evidence in court on these lawsuits.
I'm not disputing the fact that you're not allowed to film in the
Absolutely.
public setting, but the fact that you're here and filming police vehicles.
No, but the memo clearly states that filming outside a police station is not enough grounds for a Section 43 search. Okay, and that is the key point of evidence that will win me this lawsuit.
You're not filming outside a police station. You're filming. You've told a colleague you're filming vehicles. That's capturing VR.
Now the legal game begins. The officer frames filming as suspicious. The auditor answers with a counterweapon, the NPCC memo on public filming. This segment is all about positioning. One side presses suspicion, the other cites policy. The tension rises because neither backs down. The auditor's legal references raise the stakes and force the officers to recalibrate. It's a textbook power negotiation caught on camera.
Vehicles, marked vehicles.
Irrelevant.
No, we pay for them. Members of the public, as through our taxes, we pay for them. They're not secret information.
We can also search
they're not secret.
To look into that.
No. You have to have grounds to search me.
Yeah, I do.
No. You have to have objection. So do you suspect me being a
terrorist?
terrorist?
You're also filming people police officers coming out who are not who are not wearing uniform.
No. You're making an assumption. You're making an assumption there.
The officer just came out and said you were filming as she exited. So,
right, and do you know that I was filming her?
Well, I have that suspicion. Okay.
Okay.
And that's enough for me to look into.
It's not. filming in public.
Look, we can debate this all day.
It's not a debate. The memo clearly says it, and the fact that I've made you aware of this memo is going to win me the lawsuit.
look, that's absolutely fine. You're
It's absolutely fine.
It's fine. It's fine for you to have that opinion.
It's not an opinion.
Not only my
It's
officer,
fact.
but staff who
I've
are
already
asked
got
to
one
go
lawsuit
through.
against the NPS for this exact
Okay,
reason.
well, look, I'm not going to debate those situations. Okay. Is anyone available?
We're just going to ask a question if someone can pop down, but yeah. No, it should come out on the radio.
Yeah, bear with me. Okay.
Well, I might just stick around, to be honest. I might just go. But
That's within your gift, right?
well, apparently, because I'm not detained, but you suspect me of being a terrorist because you said you're going to detain me. You're waiting for a uniform to come and detain me. So clearly, you suspect me of being a terrorist.
We'd be more comfortable doing a search when we've got body worn footage as well. All right.
So you're not going to detain me until the uniform gets here. You're just going to wait. At which point I could just walk away, potentially be a terrorist, as you're saying you suspect.
It's a developing situation.
It's not, because if you genuinely suspect me of being a terrorist, you would be physically detaining me, wouldn't you?
You're being provocative, in my opinion, and I think you're doing that on purpose.
No.
Watch closely. The words, Section 43, land like thunder. The superintendent implies a terrorism-related search. The auditor immediately digs in, demanding warrant numbers and calling out misuse of powers. This is the scene's peak of implied threat. The possibility of detention is dangled, and the audience feels the risk increase. Every line delivered here carries consequences, legal, reputational, and personal.
No, I'm trying to reason with you,
view.
Inspector.
You're not being reasonable because you're interrupting me non-stop. I'm trying to talk, you keep cutting
You
in.
interrupt me as well.
No, I've let you speak. You've said you've made your piece. I've explained what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine.
But it's not fine. That's the issue, Inspector, is that it's not fine. You cannot abuse. Do you know you used to have Section 44?
I'm not abusing.
You don't have to
I'm not
talk.
abusing.
You don't have to talk. Do you know you used to have Section 44? Do you know why that got repealed? For this exact reason, didn't it? Didn't it, Chief
So why
Superintendent?
Why are you filming us now?
Pardon?
Why?
Well, for my own protection. You just said that you're going to detain and search me. As you said, you want body-worn footage. I want my own record as well.
We want to make sure officers are safe. So we want to take.
And I want to make sure members of the public are safe from tyrants like yourselves. So if you're going to abuse Section 43, I cannot stop you from doing that, obviously. And I won't resist you. I'm not going to aid you, but I won't resist you. And you will end up with a civil suit, and you will both be up on disciplinary matters.
We're going to wait till the uniform. I think we've both said our piece here.
No, I haven't finished saying my piece, actually.
You're free to talk.
I know I'm free to talk. I have rights. You don't have to respond. You've said multiple times you're not going to continue engaging, yet you do. As I said, I've made you aware of the memo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're refusing to even look it up. I've made you aware, and neither of you are making any sort of concerted effort to look up this memo, to double-check the facts before you get a uniformed officer down here to detain me and search me and abuse my human rights.
Emotions heighten. The auditor moves from legal argument to moral indictment. Human rights, Article 10, even the word tyrants is used. The officers respond with interruptions and insistence. This is the clash of principle versus enforcement. It's raw, it's fiery, and it exposes the personal edge beneath the formal uniforms. Viewers sense that this moment could go many ways. It's a make-or-break exchange.
Okay,
No, you're abusing my rights.
Pulling out a phone and doing research right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything
You could get this constable to do it. You could get the chief superintendent to do it.
A little bit under control. That's absolutely fine. Right?
Well, sorry, what's your name, Chief? Elizabeth Chappell, and was it Sergeant McKinsey? And your warrant number, sorry? 238826. Thank you. Just so I know exactly who to reference in the complaint to the IOPC.
Absolutely fine.
Absolutely. I will not be bullied by a threat of a search from exercising my right. You know we have human rights in this country. Do you remember your oath? Do either of you remember your oath? No, I doubt that you do you?
We're not going to be responsible.
You don't have to, but I can still talk and I can still ask questions.
Okay.
Neither of you remember your oath. You swore an oath to the crown of this country to uphold the human rights of the people. I have an Article 10 right to exercise my freedom of expression. That's exactly what I'm doing.
You don't have the right to film police officers.
I absolutely do. Anywhere in a public place, yes, I do. So you're going to come. You're going to come and get a uniform to come with a body-worn camera who has the right to record me, but I don't have the right to record you.
Recording us.
Yeah, but she just said I don't have the right to. Which I absolutely... You just said you don't have the right to record police officers.
You were doing, you've raised our suspicions that
Well, you're raising my suspicions right now of absolute tyrannical constables. And it's disgusting that it's a superintendent and an inspector. Absolutely despicable.
Okay, no problem.
You keep saying no problem, but it is a huge problem. A huge, huge, huge problem.
Here the auditor doubles down. Transparency, precedent, and past lawsuits are named. Rather than collapsing under pressure, he becomes more composed and deliberate, explaining motive and process. The officer's frustration is visible. The auditor's coolness flips the narrative and puts the burden of proof on them. This section is crucial. It shows the auditor's strategy. Don't flinch, keep the record, and force accountability.
Again, so before you, so, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a vehicle coming, guys. Be safe. So you've obviously listened to the inspector's side of it. So for you to make an informed decision, and I'll be polite with you, I'd like you to hear my side of it, okay? And I think that's only fair. So I came here, as I explained to the first person that approached, I came here to try and get some shots of marked vehicles coming in and out, like this one. If obviously it wasn't being obstructed, I would get a nice sweep shot of a marked vehicle going in. Right, so let me finish. I've advised the Chief Superintendent and the Inspector that there is a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council, okay, that clearly explains vloggers and social media auditors filming police stations, and that it is not to be used as a ground for a Section 43 search, okay? Now, obviously, I've just heard the inspector say that it's down to you and it is ultimately your decision whether to do the search. As such, if you detain me and search me, you will be the one that is liable, because you'll be the one detaining and searching. You would be the one that is liable under the IOPC complaint procedures for disciplinary and dismissal, okay? So I would advise that, yes, your superiors are suggesting that you do something, but I would suggest that you have some common sense. At least look up this memo before you take any further action. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I would suggest that you look up this memo before you put yourself in a bad situation because a chief superintendent and an inspector is asking you to. Okay, because you are the one that is ultimately responsible for your actions as a constable. And they don't have the balls to detain me and search me themselves.
Okay, are you aware that there's not a lot of marked vehicles that come in and out?
I wasn't aware of that, no, but I appreciate you telling me.
Everything changes as uniformed constables arrive. This is the turning point. Supervisory escalation gives way to frontline policing. The dynamic shifts from command to caution. The auditor briefs the new officers calmly. The constables listen. The threat of a search still hangs in the air, but now the responsibility is real, and it's the uniformed officers who must choose whether to act. That decision moment is the tension fulcrum of the whole event.
You know, we all have individual interests, don't we?
I know everyone tends to have like their own different reasons.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, and I have the right to freedom of expression in this country. Exactly. You know, and I absolutely have that right. I'm not trespassing onto your secure areas. I was stood at there. I clearly filmed the fact that you got the authorised vehicles only and the police personnel only sign. And so I made a point to point that out for my footage, and the fact that I'm not going past that, I stood there to film through it. All I could see was a forensics unit, and I said, and I was like,
just an officer coming out of their personal vehicle, can you not film that?
I mean, no, because I need to keep the camera pointed at you guys right now.
Well, you can point at me, just not at their personal vehicle.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to point it directly at that. I'm not going. Okay, I'm not directly pointing it. I'm pointing it at you. If that's in the background, it's in the background.
That's their personal vehicle.
It is.
And you're getting their registration plate on their face.
I will try to blur it out if possible. Yeah.
I don't believe
real issue we have.
No, because you were polite about it, I will try to blur it out, depending if I can, because sometimes, depending on the shot with you two stood there, it's not always possible.
Our sort of standpoint, the only real issue that we have, right, is the fact that you're obviously free to film whatever you want. Right?
Absolutely, thank you, I appreciate that.
The only issue comes when you're filming officers not in uniform, leaving in their personal.
But again, you're making assumptions that that's what I'm doing.
It's an assumption or anything.
Exactly.
The problem stands when that thing
Okay,
happens.
but again, that's not illegal,
So,
is it?
Up until then,
It's not illegal to do that. I can record every personal vehicle coming in and out. And you can ask questions. I don't like the fact that.
what we're here doing.
But I don't like the fact that. No. Yeah, but we are, but they weren't. I'm fussed about it. I had the chief superintendent and an inspector threaten me with a Section 43 search. They should know about the memo. They are like the highest ranking constables. No, I can't.
With the Section 43, that's underneath the Terrorism Act.
Sure.
If we feel like what your actions are doing will pose a personal risk to any officer officers that aren't in uniform, because you're getting.
Sorry, you're quite softly spoken.
Sorry,
that's all right.
Because you're basically getting their legal information that way by recording their registers and things like that. That sort of raises our sort of threat level. So we're like, oh, why is he recording these officers? What's he planning to do with that video? That's where our ground stands.
Here we see de-escalation. The conversation cools, reason replaces rhetoric. The constables adopt a more measured posture, discussing safety and perception rather than immediate powers. The auditor's tone stays factual, the officer's tone turns pragmatic. This sequence is the breath after a sprint. It allows both sides to reframe the encounter and prevents it from spiraling into a physical confrontation.
The inspector and the chief superintendent came out demanding ID and saying that I have to provide it, and then saying that they're going to get a uniform out to search me under section 43. It's good plan. But yeah, it's not a power in this situation that you have the right to use. You have to have objectionable, solid grounds, and there are specific grounds under section 43 that you need to have. Pardon? That's not my job to tell you that. No.
Clearly you know the legislation.
I do know the legislation very well. I know this legislation very well. As I explained to the chief superintendent and the inspector, I already have a lawsuit against the NPS for an illegal search under section 43. And that's in the process of going through right now. And it's not my goal to get a lawsuit. Honestly, it's not. All right?
Do you have like a YouTube channel?
Pardon?
Do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
Maybe.
You're
But
allowed to tell me if you've got.
I know I'm allowed to tell. I'm allowed to tell you. I know, but
no, that's the guy.
I mean, you'll find it anyway. If I upload it, you'll find it. But sorry, forensic coming in. But yeah, I mean, obviously, where was I? Sorry, where was I up to?
You were talking about your lawsuit.
Oh yeah, so I've got a lawsuit ongoing for this exact thing, right? I was filming somewhere in London. They didn't like the fact that I was filming. The police, because I didn't want to give them my information and I didn't want to explain my reason for what I was doing, I think I've given you more information than I gave them. I've told you I'm waiting for marked vehicles to come out. Yeah. I might get a drone over. It's not a flight restricted zone. I might get a drone over yet, because obviously I can't see the marked vehicles from standing here, so I might have to get a drone over to get those shots. It's very loud. Well, that's not helping with a headache. But yeah.
Do you have a drone on you now?
Pardon?
Do you have a drone on you now?
Yeah, it's in my rucksack.
Is it like a little small?
Yeah.
Like a DJI one?
DJI Mini. Yeah, you know the drill. So, but yeah, so I might get that up. But yeah.
DJI Minis, are they actually good?
Yeah, they're really good.
What do you have?
I've got the Mini SE, which is like the baseline one.
Are these the ones that are a grand?
No,
They
mine was.
can be a grand.
Yeah, like the Mini 3 is like 850 quid.
I think I've looked at yeah, don't even need to be here. You can
Yeah.
if you want.
I'm just like,
You're cracking on, yeah?
I don't understand what you meant to
Okay,
say.
can I just say to you before we go, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my side of it and not just the inspectors, and I really appreciate the fact that you haven't put yourself in a bad situation.
In this extended exchange, suspicion softens into curiosity. The auditor explains his purpose, drone plans, YouTube context, while officers outline their safety concerns. The conversation becomes collaborative. Both parties acknowledge risks and limits. For viewers, this is satisfying. The storyline moves from oppositional to conversational, demonstrating that transparency and mutual listening can diffuse tense encounters.
I think what we just really wanted to say to you is, obviously you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
All we're saying is, personally, we have our own vehicles here. We're going home. It's not you necessarily. It's people that might watch your media and see that sort of information on there.
And I get that.
And
I get that to an extent.
Like, I'd rather not. Well, I'm not driving home anytime soon. My shift finishes in like 6 hours later. But like, that's please be considerate of obviously our privacy.
Yeah, and I get that to an extent, and it's never my objective to stand here.
Right.
And if they had searched me, and when the search would have come back negative, I would have made a point of standing here and filming every single one and publishing them out of spite, and I would have.
We have to reasonably believe that you are a terrorist.
Absolutely.
Hostile reconnaissance.
Absolutely.
Now,
And hostile reconnaissance, according to memo, by its very nature, is covert.
You've swallowed that fully.
Yeah, I mean, when you do public photography and you're interested in filming the police, you do need to know your shit.
It's good to know your rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
you're not the only person that sort of does this. We have people when we're not just here, but when we drive to calls and stuff, they stand on the side of the road and we'll wait and film and stuff.
Yeah, I always will.
We
Just
don't
so
have
for
an issue
everybody's
with
sake, the public's and yours, because you have your body cams on, but obviously when you're dealing with a situation, you're so up close, sometimes it doesn't show it. But then if I've got footage and something happens to you, something happens to the member of the public, there's an objective full shot of it, you know what I mean?
Even when we're dealing with members of the public and things like that,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can send us their own footage. But
Yeah.
from your perspective, we don't know what you're doing behind the camera. So like, there could
No,
be times where, you know, like we've turned up to something and someone seems to have got like some mobile phone footage and stuff like that, and this person's absolutely kicking off. But behind the camera, they could be going.
They could be.
But we don't know.
This is the broadening view. The talk drifts into systemic territory, policing culture, public trust, and the balance between security and civil liberties. The auditor presses on accountability, the officers speak to safety and operational realities. This segment is less about a single confrontation and more about the underlying question the whole video raises. How do a free public and a security service coexist under modern scrutiny? It's a heavyweight, thoughtful exchange that gives the encounter context and moral weight.
So that's really embarrassing for Mitcham. I think that the 3 PCs have come along and completely de-escalated the situation that a chief superintendent and an inspector escalated. So like the chief superintendent and the inspector, they didn't even have the balls themselves to commit to a section 43, and they tried to bring out a uniformed PC to do that.
The camera closes with a clear verdict. Accountability remains the demand. The auditor labels the superintendent and inspector's behavior as escalation, praises the constables who de-escalated, and signals future action, complaints, and a possible revisit. This outro ties up the narrative threads: the political, the personal, and the procedural. It's a call to watch and to act, and it leaves viewers with a promise that this story isn't finished. That lingering final note is exactly the kind of hook that drives follow-up episodes.